Hello there, welcome to Module 1, Objective 1. The opener is asking which number does not belong and why. You can see there's the numbers 9, 16, 25, and 43. As you are thinking through this, just note that there are multiple correct answers. Just be sure you can explain your choice. I am not going to go over this one. I want you to write down your thoughts on which number doesn't belong, and then check in with your teacher before you move on. Take the time to pause the video until you finish. Alright, once you are done with that and have checked with your teacher, I want you to continue on to here. The objective is I can round numbers to the nearest integer, tenth, hundredth, and thousandths place. This may be review if you have done this before, but regardless, we are going to start with this lesson here. So you can see here is a place value chart where you see the decimal point. You can see to the left it goes the ones place, then the tens place, then the hundreds place, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. To the right of the decimal are the tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths, and 100,000ths. So this is an example right here. 39.546. You see the decimals here. Which digit is in the hundredths place? The hundredths place is two numbers after the decimal point, so it's 4. What digit is in the tens place? Very careful. Tens and tenths are different. On the fractional part, you'll see the th, the f at the end, but on the whole number part, there is not. So the tens place is right here. Two numbers to the left of the decimal, it's a 3. So once you have this down, I'm going to do a couple examples here. Write each digit in its appropriate place value. We have 54.673. This one's just in order here. 54, the point, 6, 7, 3. I'm going to do, let me write the point here. I'm going to do one more here. 42.012. 42.012. Now I want you guys to try some of these here on your own. Just be careful, some boxes might not be used. If it's not used, you can either leave it blank or just write down a 0. So I want you to do problem 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go through these problems and check in with your teacher. You can check in one at a time, or you can check in after you're done with all of them, depending on how comfortable you are with these. So pause the video and then get started with these 8 problems. Once you have finished those 8 problems there and checked in with your teacher, I want you to go down to the rounding numbers part and take some notes here with me. So, plot 0.18 on the number line below. You can see this is counting by, you can think about this as pennies, right? $0, 0 cents, 1 penny, 2 cents, 2 pennies, 3 cents, 4 cents. It's counting by every hundredth. So 0.18 is going to be right here. You can plot that point right there, because that's where 0.18 is. Now, it's asking to round 0.18 to the nearest tenth. So we're looking at, thinking about it as rounding to the nearest dime. Is it closer to $0, 0.1, or 10 cents, or 0.2? You can see this dot we created is closest to 0.2. So when we round it, we get a 0.2 right there. So problem 3, the scale's a little different. You see 0.1 to 0.2 is kind of further apart from each other here, but the gaps here are much closer. So 0.18 is in between 0.1 and 0.2. So when they say the word approximate, we can't get it exactly. We have to do our best job to approximate or to guess where it is. So it probably would be close to right here. Not quite 0.2, but right before. And if we want to round 0.18 to the nearest integer, what we can do is determine, hey, is this closer to 0 or to 1? 18 cents, that's closer to 0. So the answer here is 0. So rounding means changing a number to an approximate value based on the rules of rounding. You may have heard this before. So to round, you look to the right of the indicated place. 5 and above, give it a shove. 4 and below, let it go. So consider this number here, 748.209. Round this number to the hundredth place. The first thing we want to do is identify the hundredth place. If you forget, you can scroll up to your first page. The hundredth place is 2 numbers after the decimal point. So 2 numbers after the decimal point is the 0. Let me underline it. So that is our indicated place. Now what we want to do is look at the number to the right of it, which is the 9. So if it's 5 and above, you give it a shove. If it's 4 and below, you let it go. So because this is a 9 right here, it's 5 and above, give it a shove. So the 0 becomes a 1. So the answer is 784.21 right there. Because this is 5 or above, the 0 becomes a 1. If this was a 4 and below, it would remain a 0.20. Now, we're going to break this piece by piece. We're going to start off with rounding to the nearest integer right here, starting with all integers. So the integers are, you can think about as the ones place. So I'm I'm underlining the ones place, and I'm looking at what comes right after. You see it's a 4.9827, but the place after the ones place is a 9. It's 5 and above, getting a shove, so the 4 becomes a 5. That's it. If it helps, what you can do is just underline all of the ones place in this case. I'm going to do a few more examples, and then the rest will be on your own. I'm going to switch to my highlighter tool this time. I'm going to highlight the numbers after. So if you see here, again, you have to remember, 5 and above, give it a shove, 4 and below, let it go. So this is a -3. Look at the number after that we highlighted. It's a 2. It's 4 and below, let it go. So it stays a -3. A -6. So this is either going to stay a -6 or become a -7 based on what the number to the right is. The number on the right is a 2. Is that 5 and above, give it a shove, or 4 and below, let it go? Well, it's a 2 here highlighted, so it's 4 and below, let it go. So this stays a -6. You can take a moment, try this one on your own for a second. What do you think? If you said the answer was 5, you are correct. The 4 becomes a 5 because the number to the right is a 7, which is 5 and above, give it a shove. So what I want you to do now is do these problems one at a time, or finish them all, and then check in with your teacher before I move on to the 10th place. So take the time to pause the video until you finish this section. All right, once you have finished the rounding to the nearest integer, or the ones section, let's now go on to rounding to the nearest 10th section. So the 10th place is the number to the right of the decimal point. So I'm going to underline just the first couple this time. I think you guys are going to start getting the hang of it. And I'm going to highlight the number after, which would be, I'm highlighting the 100th place in this case. So keep in mind these are a little different from the section before. So, same concept though. This is a 4.9. We have and we have an 8 right after. 8 is 5 and above, give it a shove. So this is a 9, it can't go to 10. Well, this is a little tricky because 5 and above, give it a shove. This 9 should become a 10, right? But because this is a 4, the answer will be 5.0. You can think about it as a 4.9 becoming a 5.0. This one here, 3.2, 8. The 8 is highlighted, so is this going to stay a 3.2 or a 3.3? 5 and above, give it a shove, it becomes a 3.3. This one here, I'm going to do one more. So the 10th place is the 2, and then we have the 9 right after. 5 and above, given a shove, this 6.2 should become a 6.3. I went a little quick here. If you need more help, you can ask the teacher, Mr. Liu, or whoever is your classroom for more help. Otherwise, you can continue working on these on your own and get started with this section. Once you are done, check in with your teacher, pause this video, and then we will work on the next section afterwards. All right, we have a couple more sections left. Let's do the 100th section. I'm going to underline the 100th place, which is 2 decimals afterwards. Then I'm going to highlight the digit to the right of it. Remember, 5 and above, give it a shove. 4 and below, let it go. So the highlighted number is 2, let it go. Stays a 4.98. This is a 0, let it go, stays a 3.28. Again, pause the video. You can ask Mr. Liu for help if you need. Otherwise, you can continue working through problem 10. Check your answers with the teacher before you move on to the 1000th place. So pause the video now if you have not yet done so. All right, once you have checked in with your teacher for those set of 10 problems, I want you to go on to this final section here. Round the following numbers to the nearest thousandths. The thousandths digit is 3 numbers after the decimal point. So the 2 there and the 0 right here. And I'm going to highlight the number afterwards. Again, the same concept. 5 and above, give it a shove. 4 and below, let it go. The 7 highlighted here is 5 and above, so you give it a shove. This 2 becomes a 3. So this is 4.983 as your answer. Here we have a 4. It's 4 and below, let it go. So this stays at a 3.280. Finish off the rest of these questions. Check your work with Mr. Liu, and then write your note to your future self. Once you have checked in with everything, you are ready for the exit ticket to check your understanding. Again, any questions, please be sure to ask your teacher.